nice to see you back here again this week, and I'm glad that you both chose to come back. I just wanted to have a little check-in and see how your week went before we start discussing it. Do you want to go first, Chris?
Sure. I still haven't seen my grandson. She never dropped him off, and so yeah, I haven't really heard much from my daughter or my grandson. So I don't really know how the last week went. I'm feeling like a lot of the headway we made last week kind of went out the window, and so.
So you were hoping for something more tangible?
Yeah, for sure.
So how about you, Lisa? How are you feeling?
I don't get it.
Tangible, like my grandson is actually over my house watching the hockey game with me, rather than you just avoiding my phone calls.
I didn't avoid your phone calls. We were out and about all the time. We were doing stuff. He had soccer, he had swimming. We were out in the park. By the time I got home, you know, it's late to call you.
So how do you feel that your week went, Lisa?
My week went great.
Okay, and I know we talked last week about you were going to think about kind of some things that might make you happier to have Felix being with Chris, or things that might help with that. Did you do that at all?
What? Like, what?
Well, you had said last week that you would be okay with him spending some time with your dad if there were some ground rules set, and you were going to think about what some of those rules might be. Did you have a chance to think about that at all?
Well, yeah, my mom, I think, well, no guns around. I don't even want the guns on the table. I don't want my kid to be around any guns.
I'm just going to write these down, okay?
I know my dad likes to watch his hunting shows. I don't want anything to do with hunting on TV.
Okay.
I think hunting is a really healthy activity, and I don't really know why you care.
You know what,
you think it's
I
okay
get
to be
that.
high
I
in front
get-
of your kid, but you don't want me to do something that's really natural and feed the family.
I get hunting's okay. I get it, but not now. He's 4 years old.
So is there a kind of an age when you think that
Maybe
that
when
would
he's
be more
14.
appropriate? So you think when he
14.
was a teenager would be
Yeah.
more appropriate?
Why would you bring a 4-year-old hunting? Look what happened to Layla.
Yeah, don't bring her into this. This has nothing to do with Layla. He's not going to be even
Things
away
can
from my
happen.
side. He's going to
Doesn't matter,
be
no.
behind me the whole time, and he's not even going to touch a gun.
He's 4 years old. You don't bring guns. He's 4 years old. He doesn't need to worry about.
Have you let him watch Bambi? Because there's lots of death in Bambi.
We're too busy doing stuff outside. We're too busy, like, we barely watch TV.
And
I
you know what
read a
else?
lot
He
of
would,
books.
if he was hunting, he wouldn't be watching TV either. He'd be out with nature
Get
and.
the hunting.
Okay, can I
So
just interject a little bit here then? What I'm hearing from you is that you would be more comfortable if he was spending time with your dad if there wasn't anything to do with guns or hunting around.
Yeah, anything to do with guns or hunting. Activities, yes. Not, like, no doom and gloom. No, like, news that shows.
Okay, and so what I'm hearing from you is that you think that hunting is kind of a part of life and that that should be something that he could be exposed to from a young age. So,
Don't raise your voice to either.
I didn't raise my voice. actually,
Lisa,
just-
I heard you bring up something about Layla,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering if there's like a reason that you are really
Why don't you
against
tell them who
hunting?
Layla is?
Layla was my daughter.
Mhm.
She's no longer with
My
us
sister.
So what,
because of the tragic accident, but we don't need to talk about that here. That's really none of your business. So,
I think that though the fact that she was brought up in this conversation probably means that it has some bearing on both of your feelings towards this issue.
Layla is a way for her to blame me for things that I didn't do. I had nothing to do with me.
You took her hunting at a very young age.
So,
It's my older sister.
so it sounds like it sorry, I'm trying to think what your words were. That you think that she's using that as a way to blame you?
Absolutely. She's blamed me ever since she was little because of this, and you know, she wasn't there, she doesn't know what happens, and I've told her a million times what had happened, but she just goes off on her own
She's
tangent.
So how did,
And you
I,
took her-
I couldn't imagine losing not an older sister when they
Or
were
a daughter.
How old
Or
were
a
you?
daughter.
I was 6, she was 8, and he decided to take her hunting. Didn't
And-
ask me to go hunting either, but he took her hunting.
She was 8, she was old enough to go hunting, and she knew how to shoot.
And what, oh, so you weren't involved in hunting at all at that
No.
point?
No.
Why?
No, he, yeah, no. I saw guns a lot, but I didn't go near them, I was too scared.
Mhm.
Layla was a little bit interested in the guns. I wouldn't say she was totally in, like, she told me that, like, she kind of like, Dad kind of, she was the oldest, and
Mhm.
I think Dad kind of, like, that was, Layla was Dad's favorite. I had a really close relationship with Layla, and I loved Layla. But I think Layla was Dad's favorite, so he seemed to, she liked to be with my dad, and so I think my dad,
I don't play favorites, she
I'm not
was
saying
a
he
ballerina,
played
and
favorites,
I don't
but
go
I'm
and
saying
watch
that because she
ballet.
liked to be around you, that you know, like, it was like you're kind of maybe in to get her into hunting, and they went hunting, and it was a freak accident, and a friggin' deer stomped on her.
I want to clarify, a deer did not
And he didn't
stomp
do
on her,
anything.
a deer put her antlers through her heart, and there was no way I could save her.
So that's realistic.
She
Do you have
wasn't
other,
stomped.
do you have other
She was
siblings?
stomped, she was stomped as well.
Do you have other siblings? You said that Layla was the oldest. Was there just the two of you, or do you have other siblings as well? I'm just thinking maybe we should put some kind of family tree here.
Your son?
You never said any other kids
I'm
last
sorry.
week.
Okay. No, just Layla.
Okay.
She was a good daughter.
Well, I think it must be incredibly hard losing a child when they're at any
Really
age.
good daughter.
I never said you weren't a good daughter, I said she was a good daughter. I didn't say she was a good daughter and you were not a good daughter.
So how would you,
This is what happens.
She was an awesome sister.
it sounds like you both really loved Layla and still love her. And I hear that you say that she was good and that she was awesome. And I'm wondering if you can describe like what kinds of things you think make somebody be like that you'd like to be in a relationship with as a sister or as a parent or as a child.
Sorry, what?
Like what makes you think that she was awesome? What kinds of things make you happy to be
Well, we
in a
did a lot of
relationship with
things
her?
together, we were super close. We shared the same room, like, so, yeah, I don't know, we were just super close. I mean, I was 6, and I just remember like always playing in the background, you know, the yard with her, and
Mhm.
we'd go bike to the store and get candy and stuff like that, and I don't know, she was just my
Those are great
sister.
memories to
Yeah.
have.
And, you know, running through the sprinkler and, I don't know, like lots of things, walking into school, we watched the school together.
So then do you try and do those similar kinds of things with Felix
Yeah, definitely,
so that it can become that experience too?
yeah.
Yeah. So how about you? What did you do with Layla that
I used to hunt with
you
Layla.
used time with Layla?
Oh,
So you said
yeah.
that she was, she knew how to use a gun, so.
Yeah, she knew how to use a gun
She was
really well.
scared of
yeah.
a gun
had
though.
been- So that's something that you
But that
did
was
with
only,
her?
that was only part of our relationship. We did that on the weekends sometimes, but she liked to cook with me, you know, we used to take whatever we killed and, you know, skin it and cook it and, you know, she
Mhm.
really enjoyed that part of it and, you know, we watched TV together and, you know, I used to be a real sports sort of guy And
what,
she loved everybody. She never
did love everybody.
blamed me for anything. She was always happy to see me.
so what about your relationship? What did you do with Lisa when she was young?
We did lots of stuff with you.
He was too busy talking about his guns and showing
So
off his
I
guns.
hear that you weren't interested in,
No, I wasn't.
in his hunting.
No,
Was there, can you think of a
guns scared
time?
me. I was 6 years old, guns scared me.
And that's totally good that you can understand that. I'm wondering if you can think of a time that wasn't to do with hunting that you did do something with him. Like, your dad is talking about that he liked to cook and do different sports and things before it, when he could be more active. Can you think of times when you did that?
Hiking.
Hiking?
We used to go on a mountain and hike.
And I think that you said
We
that
did do
you,
that.
take Felix hiking
Yeah.
sometimes, so you probably got that from him.
Yeah.
How about you, can you think of anything else that you used to do together?
Yeah, we used to play soccer together too, and we used to watch TV a lot together. You forget all the stuff I
I
used
don't
to do.
wonder-
It was hard to have daughters, and I had to adjust my life to do the things that my daughters wanted to do. And hunting was one thing that I had, but everything else, I did all the girly stuff too. Like I played dolls and stuff with you, and I did go and watch ballet every now and then.
That wasn't in ballet, that was Layla. I didn't like ballet.
It's easy to mix you two up sometimes. But I did stuff, and she forgets. She wants to remember all the bad stuff
No, it's
because
not
it's
true.
easy.
It's not
It
true.
sounds like she's starting to be able to say some things that you get. I think that often when something big happens, then it does override everything else. But I know that, Chris, you definitely said that you would like to have that kind of
I would love
relationship
to.
again. What do you think when you hear him say that?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm really, like, I don't know if I'm really ready to talk about my sister in some ways, you know, and I don't know, I can't, I don't know. But I don't know.
I don't understand why she always has to bring her sister into this,
'Cause-
because this has nothing to do with your sister. Felix isn't your sister. Felix is my grandson, and I feel like all this past shit that you keep bringing up is impacting my relationship with my grandson. And I
Well,
think you just need to let it go.
I don't think I need to let it
Layla's
go, man.
gone.
It's my, like, she was my sister. She was my sister that. I
She
don't know-
died
I
too
don't know if
soon,
she
and I
really
thi-
wanted to go hunting. She told me she was scared, and she went hunting, and I know I don't have a sister. And you're still into your hunting, you still, if I'm not in, if I don't do what you want me to do, you beak off, and yeah, I guess Layla was your precious Layla, but anything that I do, you beak off or you criticize, and I don't wanna be around it, and you are grumpy.
If I learned one thing from Layla's death, it's that life is short, and you need to make the best of it. And I take offense to her saying I'm a Lowe's girl, because I'm not. I just don't want to deal with all this. You can see the negativity. You can see the negativity.
So can I just talk to Lisa for a minute? Is that
Yeah.
okay with you? So Lisa, something that you said was that you don't know if you're ready to talk about your sister.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you bring her up and you want her to still be a part of your life. Have you had opportunities when you've been able to talk to somebody about your sister and kind of figure out your feelings around that?
No, every time I would bring up my sister at home, like, I was shut down.
So do you
Okay.
think that might be something that you would be interested in exploring sometime? Maybe not with me,
I don't know if I'm
Or
ready
maybe
right
somebody
now,
else.
because it's still quite, I think, maybe, but I don't know if
Mhm.
I'm ready.
because that might be something that you could think about too, because that might give you some ideas about what you want to do with the rest of your life.
Okay.
When I hear do you feel more comfortable focusing back on making plans for Felix now?
Sure,
And you can just let that percolate and then
sure.
we can check in at the end. How you feeling about that?
Can you stop looking at me?
No, looking at you, don't look.
I just feel like I feel like he's.
Well, this is why I'm wondering if you might be more comfortable talking about that in a different setting,
Sure.
okay? Does that work for you, Chris? If we kind of can separate that out a little bit and think about what we can do for Felix and then maybe bring that back? Have you ever had a chance to work with somebody and talk about your feelings about that?
No, just
He doesn't
just
care,
my
he just
buddies
does
who.
Throws it under the rug.
I'm trying to speak right now. I talk about it with my hunting buddies and other people on the weekends, and
So you have had some opportunity to talk to people about, it, maybe not in a counseling setting, but
yeah,
different people
yeah,
use different
yeah.
resources to get that kind of help.
Yeah, my hunting buddies and Lucky Beers got me through a lot of hard nights.
Do you think that that's something that you'd like to explore at another time?
No, I feel like I've dealt with it, and I want to move forward, and
So you'd
I want to
like
move forward
to
and have a
focus on your
with
relationship
my
with
grandson.
Lisa and
He's
Felix.
acting all nice here. He's not, he's really, he's making me, I feel like I'm at fault here. He's making, like, he's talking all nice and calm here, but he does yell a lot, and he criticizes a lot.
So you feel like
I feel like,
how he's behaving here is not the same as
Yeah.
what you see in other
Yeah.
settings?
Do you see what she just did there, though? She took what I said about wanting to focus on Felix, and then she turned it around and made it about me again. And I just want to focus on my grandson.
Well,
And this is what she manipulates.
I think
people.
that for you to come to a place together where Felix can be spending time with both of you and seeing that means that you have to work on things between the two of you. What do you feel about that?
What do I feel about that?
Well, either of you, yeah.
I'm willing for him to see Felix, yeah. I don't wanna be there though.
And I never said that she needed to be there. I'm
Okay.
happy with it just being me and him. And I won't take him hunting right now. I said that last time, I won't take him hunting right now. But I
Well, and
do
I
wanna spend the
remember you
afternoon.
said that you would put guns away, right?
Yeah, I said
before
I'd put the
you
guns
came
on the
over?
top shelf where you can't reach them.
And do you believe that he will do that?
My wife will be there too, her mother.
Maybe.
Do you think we could write some guidelines together that then you could take home? So you have that?
Yeah, for sure.
Would that work? So if I give you some of paper, I don't have a second, oh, I do have a second pen.
I'm feeling really uncomfortable right now, like I don't know, I feel like my dad's like totally like,
Okay.
Maybe that's just the reefer you smoked before you got here.
Maybe we need to take a step back then and set some guidelines around
you're
what,
such a jerk.
what we wanted to be in this space and how we wanted to proceed. Do you think that would help?
What? Sorry.
Maybe if we take a step back and think about some guidelines about how we want to be in this space and what we want, what can
I
help
feel
you
really
feel
comfortable.
safer.
I just want to say that. I feel really comfortable in this space, and I'm happy with the way things are going, especially if we're going to talk about how we can set some guidelines for Felix.
Okay.
So
Can you understand though that Lisa might not be comfortable?
she's never comfortable. So
And
yeah,
are
this
you
is
willing
par for the course.
are you willing to work to help her so that she can be part of this process?
Yeah.
Okay. How does that feel to
All right.
hear that? So, is there anything that you can think of that would help? Like,
Just maybe having my mom there.
having your mom here?
Having my mom be there,
Oh, for,
yeah.
okay, so,
And maybe I can talk to my mom and tell my mom what I want.
so you think if you have your mom
I'll communicate with him. I don't, honestly.
How would that work for you?
Yeah,
I think you said last week
yeah,
that would be okay.
that's perfect for me. And then we don't have to see each other, we can just hand off and.
So then, does that mean for phone calls and stuff too? Because I heard at the beginning that Chris had been trying to call you, but you were too busy. Would it be easier for you to talk to your mom?
Yeah, I don't want him calling. I'm, right now, I don't even, like, I feel like he's really condescending. So, like, I don't know, I don't want to hear his voice.
How does that feel for you?
That's great for me, and then as long as I get to see Felix and at least have some time with him on the weekend, and we can
And
go
then
from
maybe
there.
I'm off limits, like, when Felix is there. Like, I don't want him talking about me or you asking questions about what.
We're gonna be having way too much fun to talk about.
Good.
So that sounds okay to you?
Yeah.
So, okay, let me write that on our list. Not talking about Lisa. And that maybe will be good for Felix too, because he can then just build a relationship with his grandfather without feeling like he has to take sides if there's anything happening there, right?
Yeah.
So would you feel comfortable with Felix having visiting this weekend? Do you know what your schedule is like? You said you were really busy last
I'll have
weekend.
to look, maybe I'll look and if my mom can contact me, then
Okay.
I'll talk to my mom.
Do you want her to contact you, or do you wanna look when you get home and then you could call her maybe tonight?
If he doesn't answer.
I won't answer the phone. I won't do
Okay.
that.
He says that now, but you never know. Like,
I'm busy tonight. I won't answer the phone.
So do you have call display or something so that you know that? Okay, so you sound like you're not sure about that. What do you
I'm
think?
not sure.
What do you think would happen, would be something you could do if he did answer the phone?
I'm in the
I'll
shed
hang
polishing my guns
I'll
on
hang up.
I'll
Wednesday
hang
night,
up,
so.
so that
I
feels
will.
safe to you, that you could
Yeah,
just
I'll
hang up?
if he answers the phone.
Okay, that sounds like a way that you could mitigate that, right? So that works for you,
Yeah.
you've said that you won't answer the phone? So you're gonna look at your schedule and
I'll
contact
talk
your
to
mom,
him.
and you're gonna, I can give you a copy of these rules before you leave, but there's gonna be no guns around or hunting shows. That your mom is gonna be there during the visit, and that you're not gonna be talking about Lisa,
Mhm.
and that sounds
Yeah.
fair to you? Awesome, so shall we meet back here next week and see how that went, and see how you're feeling?
Yeah.
Great, thank you,
Thank you.
and I'll write you a copy, Kay?
How was that for you?
We're all squeaky today.
know. How was that for you?
It was okay, I think.
I thought it was well.
I thought,
Yeah.
when I tried to like set rules for here, you just wanted rules for the visit for Felix. So I don't know if I wasn't clear, or if that was your character being, this is what we're talking about, so this is what I'm focusing on.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, see, I don't think you heard what I was saying,
Yeah.
so I'll look back at the tape and see. It might have been me not being clear.
Yeah.
I think that's where we needed to go anyways, was just to get the Felix stuff off the table and at least.
Yeah. Well, we did talk about ideas about it last week, but we didn't set up, like, and I think sometimes, I don't know how it felt for that client, but like saying, putting a timeline, like you're gonna go home and look and call tonight.
Mhm.
I guess maybe I could have said, like, if you don't do it, then your dad can call you, or ask your mom to call you or something. I know we explored last week that you thought your mom would be okay in the middle. I guess I could have checked in if you'd asked her if that would be okay, right? Rather than we've now just said, she's gonna supervise this visit.
Mhm.
Yeah. But,
Cause like for me, like when we started, I'm like, I don't know, anyways.
we did talk in the first session about
I was
Like, how
wondering
would
if
mom
mom was
feel?
actually
How would
like,
mom
yeah.
feel about that? Would this
Yeah.
be okay? And they both said that.
Yeah.
they
And
thought
it
Yeah,
sounds
but
like
I-
mom already has a good relationship with you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have, like, in the real situation, I don't think a mom, like, just from experiences, I know that, because it's so tense with the dad and the mom,
Yeah.
that I wouldn't act on that right away, I'd need my
To
time.
digest it and then
Yeah,
kind of go
and
into
then
it.
maybe
Yeah,
like, when
well,
you brought it up,
that
okay,
made
okay,
sense
this,
to wait and do it the
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah.
But it also made sense that the dad was hoping, or the grandpa was
yeah,
hoping that
exactly.
it
Yeah.
would happen right away, right?
Yeah, because they did write down like what is mom's role, like has
We
she
did-
agreed to
We
this?
did
like,
we did ask
okay.
I did ask them last week like how they thought when that was what was suggested.
Yeah.
So
So
that picture is this
yeah.
floor views.
I
with you sort of
definitely
somewhere
could
in
have
the
come
middle.
back and asked if they'd talk to her about this, if it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were attentive to both of us, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely were checking in on how we were doing a lot. Yeah, that's-
Yeah, there was a good balance. I thought you found the exception for that they used to do things together. That was really good.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't know, like, where did I have it? You said, I can't imagine losing a sister. And Chris was like,
He said
or a
that.
daughter, like
did
2
kind of-
times.
I
So
did
clearly,
kind of
like.
say that later, but
So
yeah,
later
I
on,
thought
you did
that
touch
I-
on it, but at that time, like he said it like 2 or
Acknowledge
3
that.
times, like, or a daughter, or a
Yeah.
daughter. So I would have really been like,
And that's part of my own personal. I had a son that died.
right.
And so I think that was part of my like, I can't, how much can I go into this? Or
Right.
kind of, right?
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, but I mean, I did put on. I said you did touch on that later on, and then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you did touch on that. So that was, yeah, you did silence really well. There was times of silence, and I thought that was good. Found the common ground between them, of the love of Layla, and then you kind of how that reflects their and Felix's relationship. But then you were able to also then separate Felix and Layla. You know what I mean? Because I think that was really important. Like, those are kind of at this point they're the same issue in a sense, but 2 different ones. And then clearly, yeah, I have Mary and Lisa. They're the same
That's
person,
funny.
but it's like
I know,
wrote
I have
Mary and then
that
I wrote
too.
Lisa, and I was like, you're gonna be like, what are you doing?
Good
But how
stuff,
you said like, asked her like, do you maybe not want to talk about this right now? And that like, would it be better
Well,
one-on-one,
I
right?
didn't,
So.
from my bias, I think that she'd be better talking about it without her dad there.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
exploring
Yeah.
her own feelings.
I
around
actually,
that.
I wrote that down, I put that the power dynamics, the father about the daughter, so I was in a similar role in Haley's
Yeah.
counseling session, and I was with my dad, and I just, every time a feeling question came up or whatever, I was like, I don't know, because I didn't want to give a wrong answer. I just felt that he was there and he wanted to hear exactly what he wanted to hear, and
Yeah.
even though he was open, I didn't feel necessarily
Yeah.
that he was open.
Well, you might
so.
not feel safe to share that.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So
I
I thought
didn't
that was-
actually come at
yeah.
the end and ask you about that.
So that was a good, like, I don't know, Mary, I don't know, I thought that was nice that you gave her that option if she
I
felt,
liked
Yeah,
it,
no.
yeah.
especially because this was, yeah, more about, like, what you can do for Felix, so, that you can kind of separate that, maybe?
Yeah, and that I wasn't, like, you got that I wasn't ready to talk about the grief and.
It's almost exactly the same thing as you said last time, though. You didn't know if you were ready to talk about how he could see Felix. Or you said something that was almost the exact same sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it seemed like you
So-
were more willing to kind of explore different options.
But you notice, like, I was like,
Yeah.
so, like, it's like
Yes.
I don't wanna face him, cause I have to face everything.
Whenever you kept doing that, like,
Definitely.
I just don't feel comfortable, he's just staring at me right now.
I was like, oh.
I know, like 2 times, I was like,
I feel like you're giving me more and more power through that whole session, because last time I didn't really feel, like I was just like this poor grandpa who just wanted to see
Yeah,
his-
I think the power
his
dynamics
grandson.
really shifted when you like
Yeah.
acknowledged why, like some kind of acknowledgement about Layla and why you didn't like him. I
Yeah.
think you felt like you were giving him power
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah, and I felt
Because
like
definitely the last
Well, that's what it
session,
was.
you
Then
had
so
all
you
of
were
the
like,
power
oh.
and you had all of
Then I was
the,
like-
and then it,
And then I
don't
was like,
freaking stare at me.
like, I was all
Yeah.
more of like, what, yeah, like I don't know, you know, when you're not held
you were kind of
accountable.
feisty, and yeah, just like,
yeah.
And then I kind of like,
Well, and it got
you're kind of seeing my
even
issues really bad.
everything was quieter. Everybody's responses, even Grandpa's responses. I mean, were just more reflective and quieter than.
Yeah, but that's you,
Yeah, no, I think it
So
was,
heated, like, when someone comes in.
yeah, I think it was very realistic in that way.
Yeah, and I
don't-
did
yeah.
notice that, oh,
No,
sorry.
you go.
Okay, I did notice that like when they would start to raise their voices, you had to, like you kept a constant voice and you kept a constant level, and as you would talk, their voices would come back down.
She was
Yeah.
like that though at the in the first one
It
too.
was-
You have you're very,
Yeah.
very consistent.
But when I think things are getting like way out there, you have to maintain that
Yeah.
kind of calmness to help bring people back down.
And I don't know if it was touched on, like, because Chris said that she manipulates a lot, and Mary said that he's really condescending. So I was like, I didn't know where, like, if that had
No, they just like calling each other
the
names. I
Right.
mean, those aren't names, but
Right.
really there's a lot of that, but
yeah.
It's-
I didn't know if that was like in first session too and stuff.
There was definitely, there
Kind
was
of-
some
I feel like I'm
accusations
balancing
back and
how
forth.
much is
Yeah, you were being
What's
a little
worth
bit more like
calling
at
them
me,
on
like,
and
yeah, the snarky
what's
comments.
worth if they're continuing to talk. then-
Yeah.
Because it's just happening.
Yeah.
And it happens from both sides too. If it was always one-sided,
Yeah.
then
It was interesting
I would
because
be
you
more
said don't
likely-
raise your voice too. So I thought maybe like in the past, like was that, you know what I mean? Like do you have, from when you were a kid, did he raise his voice at you a lot? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because during the time, I don't know, I just
Yeah.
like wasn't sure why you needed to point it out that one time. Like don't raise your voice when your voice was just as raised.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
exactly.
Like so it was like, interesting that you
Little-
called him out, but you were
little-
just
But you were just
as elevated. So
Yeah.
yeah, but no, I thought it was yeah.
There was an interesting point, like you talked about how you have your buddies that you could talk to about Layla.
and Lucky Vieira is like you're totally
Yeah.
from the
So,
Mid Island.
yeah, totally.
I was
Yeah, that was
like-
an island reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be a interesting, like to identify that that's a strength, and then maybe ask Layla, like what, or Lisa, Mary, whatever your name is, like what other like look for
Supports and stuff,
strength
yeah.
in
Mhm.
her
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah, I wrote that down that you found, like Chris had found support from others.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a
Which is
good
good.
strength that he was able to do. But
well, and I wanted to say that too because sometimes, like if I'm talking to Lisa and trying to convince her to go to counseling to talk about her sister,
Because see, like, but I said I tried to talk to him and he shut down,
Saying-
and
yeah.
he was
But
like, I know.
but saying that then because he talked to his buddies, it was okay. Like I wanted to kind of verbalize that sometimes people do things in different ways.
Mm-hmm. That recognition is still good, like it's
Because-
still.
Definitely some, like for both of them to hear that
Mm-hmm. Well, 'cause he
especially
could go
guys,
home.
especially guys
Yeah.
often don't talk it through, but they talk it while they're hunting or they.
Yeah, he could have went home and thought about it. Or
the antler through the heart. She did not get
I
stopped.
was just like, an antler through the heart. No, that's realistic. But,
I should have used a cougar attack. I was like,
Well,
after
I was thinking like it wasn't my fault. Like I couldn't have saved her if she was trampled. Like she would have still been alive.
Yeah.
Like an antler through the heart, she's dead. There's nothing I can do in that
Right.
situation.
yeah.
I did though appreciate. Oh my gosh, my voice. I did though appreciate that you did go over the counseling part with Mary and like ask her if she's sought help, because there's a lot of trauma surrounding Layla for both
Yeah.
of them, and I think that obviously plays such a big role.
Well, and that in their relationship as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah.
Which, although the dad said that he isn't so concerned about their relationship, he wants a relationship with Felix. He did say in his perfect world they would have a relationship
They'd have a
as well.
relationship
so.
as well. There's a lot in this
Yeah, I know.
story.
Yeah,
There's actually way more to talk about next time too. Like
There's
We
there's a
only
lot
have
of ways
one more
areas you
session,
can go for
so-
sure.
yeah.
Some of them are gonna have to be left hanging.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of talk also about Mary said like she felt like she was not the favorite. You know what I mean? She never really had that
Mhm.
relationship. You could kind of explore
And
how
I'm not talking about the
and
grief,
not talking
yeah.
about the grief. Like
Yeah.
there's
Kinda
no
short little
right. So
things
there's
you
that whole thing that she feels like, and you said it even like he doesn't even want to talk. You know what I mean? Like so stuff like that. Like I don't know.
Well, even when he said
Is your
it's
name
hard
on
to
here?
have daughters,
Oh, no.
there's a bunch that
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
in with
I
that
don't know how to
too.
spell your name.
Oh, do you want me to write my name on it?
Yeah, just because then if I refer to her or have a question, I can.
Oh yeah, you can just
I
email
can-
or whatever.
I don't think I'll have a question, but like in my paper, I might say, oh, this person suggested this. It's
Yeah.
really good if I know who you are.
Yeah. So the check marks. I mean, like I do
Good.
check marks. Do you do that too? You just.
Yeah, I do that
I mean, it's like that's what I. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I put mine on there, I put that, yeah.
awesome.